Have you ever met someone who tore your world in two? They didn't just make your heart skip. They awakened you. A glance, a conversation, a single touch, and suddenly, everything you thought you were collapsed. This isn't ordinary love. This is a sacred encounter with your own essence. Carl Jung believed that such meetings are never random. When you can't be with someone you love deeply, it's not fate playing tricks on you. It's your soul orchestrating the experience not to possess them, but to meet yourself. This isn't a story of heartbreak. It's a whisper from the unconscious, of forgotten parts of you begging to be lived, loved, and expressed. You won't find advice here on how to move on. Instead, I invite you to go deeper into the very heart of your pain. Because inside that loss, you'll discover what Jung called individuation, the sacred process of becoming your most authentic, integrated self. You'll uncover why they showed up exactly when they did, why you were magnetically drawn to them, and how somehow they carried a piece of your soul. In this video, we'll explore the unconscious mirror and the mechanism of projection in relationships. How to tell the difference between obsession and a spiritual encounter. How to turn pain into a path of awakening and creativity, and a practical Jungian exercise to help you reclaim the part of your being they're holding. This isn't a quick fix. This is a healing ritual, a journey back to yourself through the image of someone you could never hold. When someone enters your life and awakens everything inside you, from long-buried pain to forgotten dreams, you're not just falling in love. You're meeting yourself again in the form of another person. Jung called this projection the unconscious mind casting itself onto others. But it's not as simple as thinking they're your destiny. It's a deeper expression of your soul trying to guide you toward the part of you that remains unlived. When you're drawn to someone, you can't have chances, or they embody a part of your essence that you've ignored, rejected, or never dared to acknowledge. You think you love them because they're smart, charming, deep, not quite. That intense pull often comes from the unlived shadow inside you. They're not your missing half. They're a mirror reflecting the part of you that you've let die. A woman who has spent her life putting others first might fall head over heels for a man who lives passionately and freely. But what she truly longs for isn't him. It's the right to live her own truth, to claim what Jung called a sacred selfishness. She's in love with the version of herself that's alive in him. Many people confuse projection with idealization, but projection has two faces. There's the shadow projection, where we reflect our denied traits, like jealousy, control, or fear. And there's the anima animus projection, where we reflect our suppressed spirit, creativity, freedom, authenticity, passion. If you're only feeling anxious, tortured, or obsessed, you may be caught in a negative projection. But if they awaken a desire in you to live more deeply, more honestly, to fall in love with life again, you're being offered a chance for spiritual rebirth. Emma, 35, is an elementary school teacher. She painted all through her childhood, but after getting married and having kids, art became a luxury she couldn't afford. One day, Emma met Jonah, wandering musician who came to her school to run a workshop. He didn't follow rules. He lived quietly, but with fire. Emma was instantly drawn to him. She didn't understand why. She loved her family. But Jonah stirred something deep inside her, something she had almost forgotten. After many restless nights, Emma realized she didn't love Jonah. She loved herself back when she was still painting. That's what Jung was pointing to. People enter your life to help you see yourself more clearly, not to make you lose yourself. Ask yourself 3 questions. What do I love in this person that I haven't allowed myself to live? If they disappeared, could I still love that part of me? Do I want to have Timur become the person I see in them? If your answers lean toward becoming you're on the right path, this attraction is a chance to reclaim a sacred part of your soul you've abandoned. Write down 3 traits you admire most in that person. 3 things you haven't dared to live out in yourself. 1 small action you can take this week to bring that part of them in you back to life. For example, if you love their creative freedom, give yourself 1 afternoon to paint with no goal. If you're drawn to their peaceful stillness, start a 5-minute daily meditation, even if it's just in the morning. Don't just suffer because you can't have them. Take action to become the version of you they've awakened. You'll never forget the moment you realize I can't be with them. Not because you didn't love them enough, but because there's an invisible door built by lifetime or fate that keeps you apart. And it hurts like losing a part of yourself. But here's what most people don't know, that pain isn't here to break you. It's here to bloom you. Carl Jung believed our most painful experiences are often gateways to soul transformation. Just like a seed must crack open for life to emerge, your heart sometimes has to break for your new self to be born. This isn't some shallow disappointment over unrequited love. This is pain with a shape and purpose, like an ancient ritual burning away the masks you've worn for too long. You hurt because they made you feel more alive than anyone ever has. They touched the deepest part of you, the one you may have long forgotten: intensity, sensitivity, raw passion. But you can't be with them. And that's not some cruel twist of fate. It's your unconscious choosing wisely. Because if they stayed, you might never learn to light your own fire. They're not punishment. They're ignition. They came to crack you open because only through the cracks can the light of truth pour in. Maybe you believed you weren't worthy of deep love, that loving someone fully meant losing yourself. Then they showed up like lightning in a moonless night and shattered all those beliefs. In their place, emptiness, wild, raw, painful, but also sacred ground on which your true self can rise. Collapse. When you finally accept I won't have them, don't resist the pain. Let it cleanse you. Write, cry, meditate, paint. That's your soul releasing what's stuck. Reflect. Ask yourself, what did they awaken in me that I had rejected? If I can live without them, how can I still honor that part of myself? Who am I being called to become? Act. This is where you bring love back to yourself. Take that art class. Say no without guilt. Start that book. Reconnect with your inner child. Every small step you take is a return to who you truly are in your fullest, most radiant form. One important thing: you must learn to tell the difference between sacred healing and being addicted to sorrow. Many unconsciously feed their pain as a way to stay connected to that person. But as Jung said, the shadow guides you only when you face it, not when you live in it. If your longing has become self-punishment, it's time to turn that ache into creative fire. Offer your pain to something bigger, art-healing truth. If you've ever experienced a love that couldn't become real but changed you forever, share your story in the comments. You are not alone, and maybe your words will become light for someone walking the same path. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos on spiritual awakening, Jungian psychology explained in everyday language, and how to apply it to real life. One of the deepest illusions the mind falls into is, they were my soulmate, and I lost them. But the truth is, they were never your soulmate in the sense of ownership. They were your soulmate in the sense of awakening. Carl Jung called this the encounter with the anima, or animus, the inner opposites within us. It's when you see a strange light in someone, a familiarity you can't explain. You feel like you've known them from a place far away, not in time, but in the depths of your being. They didn't come to complete you. They came to show you the parts of yourself you've lost. A man might feel a powerful attraction to a woman who's artistic, emotional, and guided by intuition, not because she's the one, but because she mirrors his buried anima, his sacred feminine, his ability to feel, create, and live authentically. Likewise, a woman might be mesmerized by a confident, decisive man with clear direction, not because he's everything, but because he reflects her unexpressed animus, her inner clarity, drive, and power to lead from within. Sometimes what you love isn't the other person, it's yourself, in a form you've never dared to become. Deep in our unconscious, we carry an ideal image of the missing half, which we unknowingly project onto someone else. But Jung said they're not truly your other half. They're a mirror, a portal to the part of your soul that's been waiting to be integrated. Imagine you're a song, but you've only ever lived the intro. Then they appear like a blazing chorus, and you finally feel like you've heard your whole self. But the truth is, they're not the song. They're just the echo of the part you never gave yourself permission to play. Grab a pen and paper and write. What do I admire most in them? If I had those qualities, how would my life change? Where did I lose that part of me? Why? Then ask yourself, how can I begin to live that quality starting today? When you shift from wanting them to wanting to become what they awaken in you, you move from heartbreak to transformation. That said, be mindful. Mirrors can be distorted. If you're not fully conscious, you might idealize them as your savior or the only one who gets me. But Jung emphasized, never forget, it is yourself you are looking at. They may carry light, but they're still human, flawed, wounded, imperfect. If you cling too tightly to the idealized version of them, you risk never reclaiming the part of yourself you projected onto them. They are an archetypal trigger, someone who awakens an archetype within you, the artist, the wanderer, the healer. But the purpose isn't to chase them. It's to chase you, the deeper, truer, braver version of yourself. You didn't meet them to be loved. You met them to remember who you are. Deep in your heart, what keeps you up at night isn't just their absence. It's your own absence from your own life. They were only a wake-up call. What you truly long for is to live fully. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." And many of us mistake our longing for someone we can't have as a call for love. But in truth, it's a call to return to your whole self. You miss them as if they were your lifeline. But what you really miss is a version of yourself, the one awakened by their presence. You miss feeling seen, feeling real, feeling ignited by something bigger than your daily existence. Don't judge yourself for missing them. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, "This longing is a map." A map from your soul, pointing you back to your own center. Here's the truth, you don't need them to feel that way again. You just need to offer yourself the gaze, the presence, the fire you once saw through them. If you felt alive when talking to them, start writing. If you felt authentic around them, learn to sit with yourself without running. If you admired their boldness, step into your own unknown. You don't miss them. You miss you, the version of yourself you became when you allowed your full potential to come alive. In your journal, answer these 3 questions. What do I miss most about being with them? What version of me came alive in those moments? How can I give that to myself without needing anyone else to do it for me? This isn't just another healing technique. It's a soul ritual. You are reclaiming lost fragments of your spirit. You are learning how to love without possession because you've come home to yourself. One day, you'll look back and realize they weren't the one who got away. They were the one who reminded me how far I had drifted from myself. And you'll be grateful, not because you had them, but because through them, you got to meet yourself. Have you ever longed for someone so deeply it felt like they were your last breath? Are you ready to transform that longing into radical self-love? Share your story or a small insight in the comments. Your awakening might just be the light someone else needs in their own darkness. If you've ever met someone who awakened everything inside you, then disappeared like mist, vanishing from the valley at dawn, know this: you were given an invisible gift. Not the gift of a perfect relationship, but the gift of a soul awakening. Carl Jung once wrote, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." The one you couldn't have didn't come to complete you. They came to wake you up. They stirred the parts of you that had been rejected, forgotten, or never fully lived. They were part of your personal transformation ritual, a threshold, a turning point, a stranger carrying your soul in a different form. Maybe you'll never see them again. No messages, no calls, no miracle reunion. But that doesn't mean they're gone. They'll live on in the way you love yourself more completely. They'll echo in your voice when you choose truth over silence. They'll be imprinted in every moment you live with full presence. You don't need them beside you to keep what they gave you. The only thing you need is the courage to become the version of you they once saw. Let yourself cry. Let yourself miss them. But then, let every tear become sacred water. Let every ache become a turning point. Because when you let go, you're not giving up on the love. You're letting that love expand beyond the shape of a person into nourishment for you and the world. Love never dies. It only changes form. From a glance, a touch, a heartbeat, into the light that guides you home. They've done their part. Now it's your turn to walk this path. No guide needed, no companion required. Just the quiet faith that you are coming home to yourself. If someone once entered your life, lit you up, and then left, you're not alone. Share your story in the comments. Not to grieve, but to release. Because your voice, your pain might just be a blessing for someone lost in the dark. And if this message touched something deep within you, hit subscribe. Not to follow content, but to walk together on the journey back to yourself.